What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be working on a different project for the Miata, taking a break from the air suspension install for just a second because as I told you in the last video, since I do have my car up on jack stands and everything's kind of taken apart right now, I figured I'd take advantage of the situation and order something pretty cool for the car. So what we're going to be installing today is something that I've wanted since I was a little kid, basically watching the first Fast and the Furious movie and then playing like Need for Speed Underground on PS2. So just based off those two things, you might already guess what we're doing today, but let me show you. So if you guessed Underglow, you are correct, my friend. I went ahead and ordered this kit from Govee on Amazon. It was only like 45 bucks, but it had a ton of good reviews and it was like one of those Amazon's choice type of things. The reason I got this kit is because it's fully Bluetooth enabled. You could switch to any color you want. You could do different like show modes, all that stuff. And then I don't have any additional switches in my car. It's just powered by my phone. So I thought that was pretty sick. So let's go ahead and open this guy up, see what we got. Oh shit. So being the professional YouTuber that I am, I already did like half this install. I couldn't wait to film it. I just wanted to put it on my car. So I'll show you where I'm at in the process right now. So when you open the kit, it's all basically one piece. So we got the Govee power supply box right here. Initially, this doesn't have any connectors on it, but I went ahead and put connectors on them so I could disconnect them fairly easily. Already got the ground wire wired up right here. I haven't plugged anything in quite yet. But you got this power supply box with a line that comes off that eventually splits into two different lines. I found in the bottom of the trunk here, there's these two plugs, because originally I was thinking I was gonna have to drill a hole to get everything through the car, but there's a plug, so I was able to take the plug out. I drilled a hole in order to pass the wires. And then let's take a look on the underside of the car. So as I said, it splits off into two different wires here. Each wire has two LED strips on it, one short and one long. So basically one for the back and the side and one for the front of the side. So I got it kind of just laid out where it's gonna be under the car. So we got this back strip and then it goes around to the side strip and stops at the end of that strip. And then the other line goes to the side strip here and continues on to the front strip and then stops right there. So here's one of the LED strips. As you can see on the back side, it has some 3M tape already installed on all the strips. I'm gonna use that to stick it in place, but it also comes with some fasteners just to keep it on there in case the tape fails. The kit comes with fasteners that look like this, so you'd have to drill 2 holes per fastener, which is probably not ideal depending on where you're drilling on your car. So I'm gonna try to avoid these as much as I can and use zip ties in all the places that I could get to them. So I'm definitely gonna have to drill some holes for the side lights, but front and rear, I might be able to get away with just the tape and some zip ties because there's a lot more opportunity to kind of attach zip ties and different holes and stuff like that. So before I move forward on actually installing the LED strips, I kind of want to give you guys a rundown of how the wiring is going right now, because when you get the kit in the mail, there's no connectors, there's no nothing. I feel like a lot of people would just connect it straight to the battery, but I got a lot of stuff going in this car, especially with the air suspension. I don't want anything getting shorted out or anything like that, so I'm gonna show you how we did it. I think it's more like the proper way that you should do it. Keep in mind, I had no idea how to do any of this stuff prior to my uncle showing me, so thankfully he's worked with electric stuff like his whole life. So I'll give you kind of a little rundown of how I did it, so you might be able to do it like this at your house. So I'm gonna try to explain this as best as I can. We got the Govee power supply box, and then coming off that, it's gonna be this right here, and it has a positive and a ground wire, so red and black. I've attached these connectors to it, and then on the other side, like here's the ground wire that I showed you. So there's a male and a female connector, or vice versa, whatever it is. And then I made this extension wire out of some wire that I had here to connect to the positive side right here. And then I ran that under the carpet where I ran all my air suspension stuff. And then it's gonna connect to the positive terminal of the battery. But it's worth mentioning that on this cable, we attached on the end of it here is this little section with this right in the middle. And what that is an inline fuse. So if this system blows something, it's gonna blow that fuse before it goes back to the battery. So it's just kind of like an extra safeguard for us. Probably not extremely necessary, but with all the stuff that I got coming off the battery in this car already, it's worth having. And then we attached a ring terminal on the end there. It's fairly simple, just power and ground, but as of like a week ago, I didn't know any of this stuff, so I thought I'd mention it to you guys. So I am under the car right now. As you can see, here's the exhaust. And this is my rear bumper. So the actual bumper cover right here, we don't want it to be on that because I don't want to be able to see that LED strip. I just want to be able to see the glow. So I think I'm going to use this actual bumper support bar to mount the lights on. I'm going to stick it on with double-sided tape, and then I've found a couple different sections, like right here, there's some holes where I could wrap a zip tie around that, just in case that tape fails, it'll still be held to that bar. All right, under the rear bumper here, I showed you guys where I'm going to be sticking this. So right now I'm going to take some rubbing alcohol and a paper towel, just go along that surface and make sure it's nice and clean. I marked a center point on the LED strip and then a center point under the car, and then I actually made a slit on the backing so I could pull the backing off from the middle out and kind of just stick it as I go. All right, with the surface cleaned, I'm gonna try to remove the backing off this tape and stick her down, and yeah, wish me luck. I have the rear strip now secured. It's all stuck down, and then I got some zip ties holding it in place. So starting here, coming across, didn't really have a spot for a zip tie here. Was able to get it right here, closer to the center, but not quite. And then two on this end here. With the backlight all secure, I spent quite a bit of time trying to figure out how to route the wires from the back up to the sides, because I have to kind of bypass the wheel and all these moving components right here. So I'll show you like how I routed it right now. It's not final. I'll probably have to zip tie some stuff to keep it really out of the way, but I'll show you what I got so far. So coming from the end there, I got it kind of zip tied. I made like a zip tie on a zip tie to secure that right there. I'm kind of worried that this might get a little hot because that's like the heat shield for the exhaust. So I might have to route it a little different than it is right now, but it's gonna be right there. Then it goes through this hole and is gonna go kind of under this whole assembly. When it's nice and tight, it kind of fits in that groove right there, and I don't think there's gonna be any problems. There's not really any moving parts. The upper control arm is directly to the left of it, and this is actually routing underneath the kind of mount for the upper control arm. So I think that'll be a pretty good spot when I get everything all zip tied. Wow. And then it comes through this hole on the other side, and we'll route down to the side skirt here. On the passenger side, I routed it pretty much the exact same way, with the exception of I went around these exhaust hangers and up through the center right here. I moved ahead and taped the side lights on. As you can see where I ran it here, I tried to avoid where the jack stands are, so I went just on the inside. Seems about the only place that I can mount it, so now I gotta figure out how to drill some holes in here to keep it secure with those little brackets that it came with. My only concern is towards the front here. I don't know if it'll focus, but there's a little hole right there, and I'm assuming that's like a drain hole of some kind. So I actually didn't stick this part down. It's stuck right behind here, but right here, I kept the double-sided tape on to allow a little gap, so if water does drain out of there, it's not being blocked. These things are supposed to be like fully waterproof, so it shouldn't be any issues if that thing is a drain hole. And even if it does ruin them over time, they were only like 45 bucks, so I'd be bummed, but hopefully that's not the case. All right, so so I got the back and both sides on right now. I might add some more reinforcements to the sides. I just have one in the middle, and I'm hoping I could keep the wire taut enough that if the stick started to go, it's still gonna hold it up with that middle support, but I may go back and add some more. So, point is, I'm moving on to the front. I just have one more wire running from the side skirt. It's coming up, and I think I'm gonna actually run it under the fender liner over the top, and then come through here, and I'm gonna attach the actual strip to this plastic under tray right here. All right, and there's the front strip installed. These are a little long. They extend past the plastic piece on either side, but I was lucky and was able to tuck it under that splash guard plastic on both sides, and that'll kind of keep it up too. So it's basically done for now. I gotta go back and kind of bundle up some wires and tuck everything properly, but the strips are installed. It's all wired up properly. So now I'm just gonna plug everything in, wait for it to get a little darker, and then I'll see you guys back out here to show you how they look. All right guys, it's now a little darker outside, and I can finally show you what these lights look like installed. Unfortunately, since my bags are not installed quite yet, I can't actually lower this car down onto the ground, but you'll get a pretty good idea of how cool these things look. All right, so we'll go on the phone here, open up my Govee app, Need for Speed Underground, that's me, baby. And then it's connected to Bluetooth. Go ahead and turn it on. Right now it is set to aqua. I could choose any color, but let's take a look. Boom, there we go. So right now set to aqua, obviously. Give you a quick peek around. I set it up so that you couldn't see the light strips from any angle here. They're kind of hidden away. I just wanted to be able to see the glow, and that's it. Doesn't look quite as sick if you could see the actual light strip itself. So I got everything tucked pretty good back there. Give you a couple more angles. This app is really sick too, because you can change it to any color you want from your phone. So I could switch it to red, orange, yellow, green, blue, aqua, purple, or white there. And you could actually pick from any color on the color wheel. So if I wanted more of like a pink, do something like that. You could also pick like scenes on here, and if I go to like romantic, say, it'll do like a red and pink. It kind of just fluctuates between colors. It's more of like a show mode type of thing. So there's a bunch of different stuff that you could do. You could also change it to like microphone, so you could do it off your music. So if I'm talking right now, it's changing to the beat of my voice. Yeah, that's about it. Turned out sick. All right guys, I think that is gonna do it for this video. I hope you liked it. I hope it helped you if you're looking to do this on your car. I made it a point to kind of like show you where I routed all the wires and everything. So it'd be that much easier for you if you were doing it on a Miata also. But yeah, I'm super stoked with how it turned out. It was only 45 bucks, so well worth it to live out my inner Fast and Furious Need for Speed Underground dreams. So I'm super pumped, guys. I can't wait to get this thing back on the ground. I'll be sure to definitely make a montage kind of edit video once this car is actually driving around with the lights on. So until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the flippity flop. Peace.